Morning everyone. So myself Santosh Kumar. So today I am presenting a class on the unit 4 of the subject environmental sustainability of code 20C11A. So the today contents covered in this class are the effects of soil pollution due to the excessive use of fertilizers, pesticides and insecticides. So today we will deal with the content effects of soil pollution due to the excessive use of fertilizers. So first one is oxygen depletion, the effects of fertilizers. So under which the first effect is the oxygen depletion. So when the manure or this commercial fertilizers enter the surface of the water, the nutrients they release stimulate microorganism growth in the water. The growth of reproduction of such microorganisms which reduces the dissolved oxygen content in the water body. So when the DO content in the water body get reduced, so which will lead to the death of various aquatic animals such as fish and other etc. So without sufficient dissolved oxygen on the surface water, so just now I told you the fish and other aquatic species suffocate and die. The resulting dead fish and other aquatic species degrade the water quality and cause the unpleasant odors. And second effect due to the excessive use of fertilizers is growth of weeds and algal blooms. The number of plants and algae in a lake or pond or any other water bodies increase with the increased supply of nutrients. So particularly N and PN and P are present in the manure in the sufficient quantity to be used as a fertilizers for the growth and will have a similar effect on algae and other aquatic plants. So as with the crops, nutrients availability is a critical factor in the growth of aquatic plants and algae. The nutrient present in the least amount of growth will limit the production of aquatic systems. Means when this weed growth and algal blooms will takes place in the aquatic in the water, so which will retard the growth of the aquatic systems, means the growth of the aquatic animals will be get retarded and which will lead to the death of various aquatic animals such as fishes and other aquatic species. Even small amount of limiting nutrient to crops or aquatic plants can increase the production substantially in case of agricultural crops. So this is a good thing. So when you see the matter on one side, so when they are used in a correct quantity, so which is boosting the agricultural production, but it is affecting the growth of the this aquatic animals or exotic species. So for that reason we should think on both sides of a coin, whether the fertilizers which we are using it is causing a good merit to our system or it is giving a more side effects. However, the increased production of aquatic plants and algae is not a healthy for water resources. Eutrophication in the term used as describe the natural or human accelerated process whereby a water body become abundant in aquatic plants and low oxygen content. Means when these aquatic plants are increased in the water bodies, so which will reduces the DO content, means that dissolved oxygen content. So the dissolved content agent will be absorbed by these aquatic plants. As these aquatic plants die, microorganisms use the organic matter as a food source. Means when the aquatic plants are present in sufficient quantity, so that will be used by this aquatic animals. But when their quantity get reduced due to the excessive use of these fertilizers, so that microorganisms use the organic matter which is present in the water as their food. So once again, microorganisms grow and reproduce and use up the oxygen in the water. So any increase in the amount of this aquatic plant growth ultimately will result in a dissolved oxygen content of the water body. So eventually suffocating fish and other aquatic species. So just now I told you, when these aquatic plants are die in the water bodies, so the microorganisms use the organic matter which is present in the water. So when it uses the organic matter, so along with that it utilizes the water, utilizes the oxygen which is present in the water bodies to reproduce. So any increase in the amount of this aquatic plant growth ultimately will result in the reduced dissolved oxygen content of the water body. So eventually these fishes and other aquatic species may suffocate or even die some of the cases. So third effect of the use of this excessive use of fertilizers is ammonia toxicity. When this ammonia contaminated runoff from the fresh manure application sites is toxic to aquatic life. At high level, the ammonia in the water will kill the fishes. So when the ammonia content in the water get increased than the required content, then it will suffocate the fish or it will kill the fishes, so thereby disturbing the ecosystem. Fish are relatively sensitive to the ammonia in the water. The concentration as low as 0.02 parts per million, that ppm, may be lethal. Surface water that manure impairs also may experience changes in the species diversity because of ammonia toxicity. And the next effect is fecal organisms. When a fresh manure from the warm-blooded animals has countless microorganisms, including bacteria, viruses, and other these parasites and these fungi. So some of the microorganisms are pathogenic. So pathogenic organisms are nothing but, so these are the organisms which are harmful to the human being as well as these aquatic animals. And some of the diseases that animal carry are transmittable to the humans and vice versa. Means these pathogenic bacteria from the aquatic system or aquatic plants and animals may be spread to the human beings also. So for that reason, so we should be very carefully in using this fertilizers for the crops. Many states use this fecal coliform bacteria as an indicator of pollution from warm-blooded animals. Means this content of the E. coli bacteria in a water so indicate the pollution, including humans. The test for the fecal coliforms is relatively simple and inexpensive compared with the testing for the other specified pathogenic. Means the presence of E. coli bacteria indicate the pollution content in the water. So a simple test will be done to determine the quantity of this fecal coli in the water body. So next one is, some of fecal coliforms can be found in natural water resources even without the influence of human or other domestic animals. Birds, beaver, deer and other wild animals contribute the fecal coliforms to the surface of water directly or in runoff. Means that fecal coliform can be found in the natural resources even the influence of the human being but that coliforms can be so mixed up in the water by using by even the birds, even deer, other wild animals present in the forest. So next one is the presence of nitrates. When this high level of nitrate can be toxic to livestock and humans. These nitrates are not absorbed to the soil materials, so they may leach to the groundwater. So in some instances, the stored or land applied manures or this nitrogen fertilizers cause the high concentration of the nitrates in the water. So because these nitrates are freely leached down through the soil profile, and nitrogen is not the crop or plant growth can reach the groundwater easily, means this high level of the nitrate can be toxic to our livestock or human beings, because so this material so doesn't easily mix with the soil, so which will result in this, say this nitrate will be get mixed in the groundwater and it will be absorbed in the water or mixed up with the water. And the next one is odors and gases. These manure odors can be nuisance for nearby neighbors and communities. The constant nuisance odor can degrade the quality of life for anyone subjected to them. So in addition that people have wide range of susceptibility to health effects from the odors. So this excessive use of water, so which will create a foul smell. So that foul smell, so it will affect the health of the public, so which will they breathe. So means when this excessive odors and gases are created due to the excessive use of these fertilizers, so which will affect the health of the human beings. So next one is the effects of soil pollution due to the excessive use of these pesticides and insecticides. So for human beings, these herbicides and insecticides are known pollutants. They can be inhaled, indigested through food or water, or become harmful through direct skin contacts. So depending upon the length of the exposure and the concentration of the pollutants, so they cause serious health concerns for children particularly, but also for adults. So already we know this pesticides and insecticides. So that pesticides in the form of these herbicides. So next one is this indiscriminate long-term and over application of the pesticides have these serious effects on the soil ecology that may lead to the alteration or in erosion of the beneficial or plant probiotic soil microflora. So these weathered soils lose their ability to sustain the enhanced production of the crops, grains on the same land. So when we use the excess quantity of the pesticides and this insecticides over these crops, so this will severely affect the fertility of the soil. So when we use the excess pesticides or these insecticides, so which will leads to the erosion of the soil microflora, or the soil may lose the nutrients, become unfertile. So these weathers lose their ability to sustain the enhanced production of the crops, grains on the same land. Means when this excess pesticides and insecticides applied on the soil will completely lose its fertility again. So it will can't enhance the or can't sustain the production of the crops. Now some of the other effects of the soil production are the bird defects. So when you use this excess fertilizers or any other this insecticides or herbicides, so which will create the birth defects in the children in a particular area. So on that area the children may suffer the various birth defects. And next one is endocrine destruction. So when this we use the excess quantity of this insecticides or herbicides, which will cause the endocrine depression. Even it may lead to the reproductive problems in the human beings as well as in the animals, because so normally the when we use the excess quantity of this insecticides or pesticides, so they will mix up with the soil, or they will mix up with the grains or the crops, so that crops may be eaten by the human beings or animals. So when we eat such crops or grains containing high quantity of the this fertilizers, even this insecticides or herbicides, so which will cause the reproductive problems in the human beings. So for that reason, so use of such may be restricted. Even it causes the leukemia and other cancer causing diseases. So when this excessive use of this insecticides and pesticides leads to the disease called leukemia and other cancer causing diseases. So even it will cause the blood disorders in the human beings. So it will causes the high BP or low BP, such problems. Even it will affect the nervous system of the human beings. So it will cause the certain diseases which will affect the nervous system of the our human beings, and it will decreases the immunity of the human beings. So when we eat the grains or food containing high quantity of the this insecticides or herbicides, so it will reduces the immune system of the human beings. So in an overall way, so we can say that this excessive use of this fertilizers are directly or indirectly affecting the health system of our human beings. Even the prevention can be never be a single effect, means a single person can't do this effort. So in that case, this state governments, this farmer organizations, collectives and cooperatives, educational institutions and conservative groups need to work together to regulate the and reduce the soil pollution relating to farming. This means awareness among the people can be brought by the governments, even some of the farmers organization, even by the educational institutions, through the awareness programs conducted by the students, the various topics related to the excessive use of these fertilizers, so which will regulate and reduces the soil pollution related to the farming. So when jointly such all the organization work, then it will be very effective. Even planning the application of the fertilizer in the right way at the right time can reduce the accumulation of the chemicals. So when we use the chemicals properly, then we can reduce the accumulation of the chemicals in the atmosphere. The use of chemical fertilizers should not be promoted. So always go for the organic farming. So use of this chemical fertilizers can be not be promoted, means there it may be even banned also. So when the use of these insecticides, fungicides and herbivores etc. should be minimized as far as possible. So we should go for the organic farming, thereby reducing the use of these insecticides, fungicides and herbivores. Okay. So these are the certain effects of the this excessive use of the fertilizers. Now is prevention. So how can we prevent the soil pollution? So develop new pesticides that could destroy the bacteria other than the target pests. Means that pesticides should be developed in such a way that it should only destroy the bacteria which is causing harm to the crops. Other than that, it should not target the other contents. So for that reason, a sufficient research and development should be done in the area of this development of pesticides. Next one is increased use of organic manure and milder pesticide should be ensured in agricultural activities. So just now I told you. So when we go for the organic farming, and use the milder, means less concentrated pesticides, it should be ensured in the agricultural activities, means such will be promoted for the agricultural activities. So next one is soil erosion can be prevented by planting more green grass. So this soil erosion can be prevented by planting more of this green plants. So new techniques should be used to increase the groundwater level, such as this rainwater harvesting. So when we adopt the rainwater harvesting technique, so which will increases the groundwater table. And next one is limit the use of chemicals and adopt integrated pest management. So always you should limit the use of the pesticides and adopt this integrated pest management, so which will give the guidelines regarding the use of the pesticides, at what time, at how much quantity that a pesticide should be used. So it doesn't mean that when we apply more pest means it will give the more yield. So there is not like that. So for that reason, so we should use the pest very systematically. So this integrated nutrient management should be used in the place of chemical fertilizers. Almost all these chemical fertilizers should be limited. And next one is chemical soil reforms like this gypsum, pyrites, as suggested by the scientists, should be used for the improvement of the salinity of the soil. So when we use this soil and certain pyrites, so which will increases the salinity of the soil, or increases the you can say the fertility of the soil. It is absolutely essential to focus on the land utilization and crop management. So we should be aware on the use of the land for the growth of the crops, as well as this crop management. Means that crops should be grown in the land. Alternatively, the same crop should not be grown in every season. Means when we adopt this crop management system, then we can reduce even the use of the pesticides. So this use of organic manure instead of chemical fertilizers, paper instead of plastic, cotton cloth or jute instead of polyesters. Means if you go for certain alternatives, so we can reduce the use of this chemical fertilizers. Planting even some of the grasses and clover, so that absorb and recycle the excess nutrients and prevent soil erosions. So the planting rows of trees and shrubs around the field, along the boundary streams or lake also will help. Means on the boundaries of the agricultural land is sufficient, this plant should be grown. And next one is the prevention of soil erosion and soil compaction in excessive amount soil should be avoided. You see that so there should not be any soil erosion or soil compaction in the particular area. And it is always good to cut or plant trees to bind the soil. Okay, so these are the certain preventive measures which are taken to prevent the excessive use of the